thought I'd do a video of Handsworth Sheffield today, and I've had a few comments on my video saying that I don't like change. No, I have no problem with change. What I have a problem with is making things worse, and that's what we've been doing since the 1960s. And the reason I've come to this point in Handsworth, it's on Retford Road and Orgreave Lane, is this was the terminus for the tram network in Sheffield at Handsworth. So the trams used to come here and stop. They actually shut the tram network down in 1963. Biggest mistake they ever made in Sheffield, because the current super tram goes nowhere near actually re-providing that tram network. Now, when they did shut the tram network down, they provided the 52 bus service out of Sheffield to here, and that went a little bit further down, I think to Valleyfield Road and down to Woodhouse. So I'm at the bottom, or part way down the hill from Handsworth. I'm going to go to the top of Handsworth and pick up from there. But I just wanted to show you the terminus of the tram network in Handsworth. So I'm part way up the hill now towards Handsworth top, and there used to be a working man's club, and I'm not sure if it's where Domino's is or where these new houses were. I don't know when they actually widened the road down here, because I'm sure it was only single carriageway, probably in the 50s. So you've got the old Crown there. And they seem to be changing the names of the pubs in Handsworth for some reason. This is called Chantry Inn, and it's not the original name, and I can't remember at the moment what the original name was. It'll probably come back to me in a minute. So I was christened here back in 1964. See if I can get you a better view on it. So it is St Mary's Church. I'm just checking on it. So yeah, I'll just have a quick walk in. You can see that pretty much around countryside. I was noticing it a lot from Waverley. So it does say public bribe all the way down here. So this is the Old Rectory in Handsworth. Let's just have a quick nip down here. I'll just pop to the bottom and start the video again at the bottom, so I'm not just showing you nothing. So this is the entranceway to the Old Rectory. I don't know if you can see it through. I can't see a lot. But I think up to the war, Handsworth was still very much a village. would have had a village feel. And now both my grandparents come from Handsworth. That's where both my parents grew up. And it's changed a lot since I was born in '64. So I spent Saturdays at one grandparent, Sundays at another. I was still visiting them up to being about probably 35, 40. But I bet the shops have changed around here a little bit now. I'm guessing that you could have probably at one bit got most of your things you wanted from the local shops, but I bet you can't anymore. You can see it's like most town centres, not knocking Handsworth, but shutters everywhere. So we're now outside what was the Plaza Cinema. Shut down in 1963 as a cinema, became a bingo hall and I think something else. Then it became bowling alley, and now it's the Grace Church. Such a shame because it held 1,100 people. You don't get that same sort of cinema anymore. So what I'll do is, I'm on what's called Richmond Road. I'll just nip to the bottom of Richmond Road, show you the shops down there, and then I'll fly back up to here and carry on with the tour. So this is a row of shops in Handsworth, and as you can see, lots of shutters on it. And I remember being a car spare place here. And just round here somewhere there was actually a little newsagents on the other side, but I think that's gone now. On my side that I'm on now, one of these houses was actually newsagents, because I remember queuing up here to actually get a greener. So I'll nip back up to Handsworth Top again. So if I remember rightly, I'm sure this was a greener shop, or star shop, paper shop, whatever it was, if I'm right. Other people probably remember it better than me. I think you can see the bricked up bit at the front, so I'm sure that's where the local newsagents was, but like everywhere they've all gone. So we're now back on Handsworth Top. I'm sure the number of shops have actually got the shutters down on a Saturday. Wouldn't Saturday be one of your main days for trading? So we've got the Handsworth in here, and that was actually the new Crown. And like I said, they keep changing the names of the pubs in Handsworth. So we've got the water trough here for Handsworth. I've just been speaking to somebody, I think his parents had the Cross Keys. That was a pub called the Chantry now. and he told me that originally there was a morgue in there, then a school, then they built the pub on the front, and then it became wholly a pub. He said it was also haunted as well in the Cross Keys. He said he'd had to go in the cellar. Now I think he just mentioned that has shut down, Bond's Pies and Catering. I could be wrong, but I think he said it had shut. I think it's going the way of most towns where we're losing things. We've still got a post office though. So busy though nowadays. I stayed for a week with my grandparents in the 1980s, early 1980s, and it still felt peaceful when you got off the bus from Sheffield to come to Handsworth. It don't feel like that anymore. I'm going to turn back in a minute and do the Turf Tavern for you, but I'll just go a bit further along. So this was the Turf Tavern, if I go on the middle of the road. So this is the Turf Tavern now. Now I used to go in Turf Tavern back in 80s and 90s. It was a nice pub, so that's gone the wayside. Still got a petrol station though. The thing that ruined Handsworth for me was when they built Asda here. We've still got lots of nice old buildings here. But I'm sure the shopping area's been demised from what it used to be. But this video probably appeals more to people who lived at Handsworth in the past. So we've got a small row of shops here, and if I remember rightly there was something like a sewing shop round here. So that's Handsworth Methodist Church. Vape store. I'm not sure if that was an entranceway through to Handsworth or not. So we've got Handsworth Dental Care here, and it was Coles, then it became Sinnett's. I don't know what well, it's now Handsworth Dental Care, but I spent a lot of time in there when I smashed my front teeth when I was 12-year-old, so even though I lived out at Anston, carried coming back to Coles, or Sinnett's it was by then. Got the post office there, still where I remember it. So I'm sure this was a petrol station, but now it's a car wash place. Where it says Stacey's, I'm sure, or Taster's Bar, there was a DIY place there. So you've got a carpet place, and I think that was a kitchen place, or the other one next door to it was a kitchen place. Either that one or that one. Now here we've got a footpath, and that used to take me down to where my grandparents lived. So if I got off the bus here, I'd then walk down here. But just here where you've got this car place, if I remember rightly, was Remploy, and it was a place for people who were disabled to work. And it's a real shame that those people have been had that chance to work taken away from themselves. Now, if I remember rightly, there was the turf, was a like a Bucky's just around here. Now where you can see Highgate Day Nursery, that was, I forgot the name of the pub now, I should remember it, Norfolk Arms. So that's the Norfolk Arms, or was, and I love going in Norfolk Arms. Now somewhere down here, but I think you had to go a little bit into the countryside, was Nunnery Colliery, which shut down in the early 1950s, a bit out towards Waverley. You can see pictures of the old Nunnery Colliery on Google, but it didn't look very pretty at all. So we got the sword dancer here. I'll just spin back round and show it. Yeah, that's the sword dancer. But give me the Norfolk Arms any day. But we have got some lovely buildings down this side of Handsworth. And we've got a little cafe here. And I remember that little cafe being a car sales place where they had 2 or 3 cars on sale. But you can see now McDonald's and also Aldi. Now I think this bit here was an industrial estate, and then it's been converted again. But the thing that, to me, did the most damage to Handsworth was getting rid of Moran rights and building Asda here. Got another church here. I don't know what this city of refugees is about, because we know that most of the people coming across to the UK aren't refugees because they're already in a safe country. They're already in France and they're coming across in boats from France, most of these people are claiming to be refugees. Well, if you've travelled through 10 safe countries, I'm sorry, but you're not a refugee getting into the UK unless you've come through the proper channels. So, where you can see KFC-ish, or a bit further on, was Moore and Wrights. They were tool makers. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to nip down Richmond Park Road, and I'll just show you the row of shops down Richmond Park Road because I remember those. I'm not going to take you all the way down, I'm just going to shoot straight to the shops down there. So I'm at Athelston Road where one of my grandparents lived, but what I've come to show you is this row of shops. It's not how I remember it. You can see down Athelston Road. The other things I want to show you is the pub here. It's now the New Anglers. Change your name, why they have to keep changing the names of all the pubs in Handsworth is beyond me. I missed one pub which was at Valleyfield, and that was the Everest. Now if you go down here, take you to Howstead Wood, and you can walk through Howstead Wood through to the other side of Handsworth, but it's been decimated after they put the actual parkway through it. And at one bit there used to be actually a swimming pool in there, an outdoor swimming pool that the miners created in Howstead Wood, but that's gone a long time ago. So I'll get back onto the high street of Handsworth and see you back up there. So these buildings have been around for as long as I remember, and I remember this being Turner News, I think, or something like that. I think this was a paper distribution place, but it's now sofa beds and furniture trades. So I'll get back onto the high street, but these are old buildings because there was a bit of industry around here. See down there. So I'll get back onto the high street and pick up with you from there. So you can see the Aldi up here, then KFC and Costa Coffee. I'm not sure how far Moore and Wrights came up, whether it was actually where KFC and Costa Coffee was, or whether that was just industrial units that were there. But definitely where we have Asda, this was Moore and Wrights, and it had in the front of it had a building like a canteen, but also like a theatre place. Pretty certain I went to a Christmas party there. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to shoot over the other side of the roundabout and pick up with you there. So before the parkway was built, there used to be a roundabout here with a flower bed in the middle of it, and then that used to be a single carriageway in either direction that took you up to the manor, and then you used to come down a hill and pick up Maltravers car park that way. So there was no big parkway roundabout. Anyway, this is a row of shops here which must have changed considerably in the last 40 years. And what I'm going to do is I'm now going to go down to where the White Rose is and just pick up just down at the White Rose and finish the video off. So I'm not sure the line between Handsworth and Darnall, but you find out High Hazels Park down there. I don't know whether that's actually in Handsworth or Darnall. And I'm on the railway bridge, and this bit of railway is from Woodhouse to Darnall. Now what I'd like to see is this line being used for super trams and extended out to the S25 area. We have got the line out there, but it needs a little bit of an extra camber putting in. But we could be running super trams along this line into Sheffield. Some of the other grandparents lived on Handsworth Avenue. Surprised Sheffield Council didn't try and chop the trees down up here. But the houses to the right of me are quite nice, but needing a bit of TLC. So we lost another petrol station. It's now another car wash. Probably been shut down 30 years. Got the White Rose pub here. Used to have a really nice restaurant in it for special occasions. Now it's a grill bar. I'll show you some of the houses up here. They are quite nice. Some are really nice, others, like I say, want some TLC. I just want to show you this one row of shops up here, give you a feel. Further tour around Handsworth, but I think it's like most places, we're all in the same boat. I don't know, we went on without these massive like hypermarkets when we could just hop on a bus, car, tram into Sheffield and shop in exclusive shops that made you actually feel good. Now, just there is the Co-op building, and that used to produce, I think, pot of meat. Or it was funeral directors, I can't remember, but that gives you a flavour. But you can see the type of houses up here, they're quite nice, and I used to love the drive down to my grandparents when they all had Christmas lights in the windows, which I doubt they're going to do anymore. But that's it, that's the row of shops in Handsworth. I'm sure you would have been able to do your weekly shop here at one bit, but not anymore. So that's it, quick video of Handsworth in Sheffield, and please comment on it. If you know things I don't know, I love to get feedback.